Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome. College basketball, DFS pre-lock live. Pete Cole here for your FearlessChoice.com. Sorry, I actually got a guest co-host today. Riley Pick 345 is his Twitter handle. He's our soccer guy. Also been helping me a lot out with the college sports. What's up, Riley? How you doing?
Hey, Pete, how's it going? I'm doing well. We finally got a really nice college basketball slate. It's been a few days, so yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, finally, right? It's a what Wednesday. I keep thinking it's Tuesday. It's a Wednesday night, big slate. But everybody that's watching, just and this will be actually on demand for the last hour, which is cool. So we'll get some more views. Please hit the thumbs up and join us. We need all that. Become members on YouTube, but you got to watch the last second. David Jones was just announced out for the early slate, 5 p.m. start for DePaul. So this stuff is constantly happening. So we've seen out in the bowl games the last couple of days. But this is brought to you by FearlessChoice.com. We have a lot going on right now, especially the small sports. We are crushing these small sports, especially college hoops. College football is we got bowl games tomorrow. I think it's 3 games tomorrow. You got EPL soccer back in full swing, right?
Yeah, and we got a nice weekend coming up. They're really the only soccer league that's running right now in Europe, kind of through the winter. But yeah, we got a nice slate coming up this week. We've had a couple nice picks. We killed Boxing Day. I know I saw you even jumped in there a little bit on Boxing Day. So yeah, we had a great Boxing Day. Too. Yeah. So yeah, it's exciting getting to getting some nice action over the winter break when everything else is slow.
Yeah, it's working out because I used to be a big soccer guy in DFS, and I haven't played pretty much in the last 2 seasons, just with taking over all the college stuff. And I've cashed the last couple of slates pretty easy, actually. So Riley's content is on par. What else we got? There's no NFL tomorrow. I just realized there's no Thursday night football. But we have NFL on Sunday. We'll have NFL show Sunday morning. Of course, college basketball tomorrow. Euro hoops. Euro hoops is one of our specialties. We have a couple guys that crush every slate. You can join our Discord. Is free. You can see our winning lineups room. All the guys are winning. And then we get NBA tonight, of course. NBA and NHL's back too. So 7-game slate. I think it's 7-game. Something like that. But I haven't even made a lineup yet. So a lot going on. We'll get through probably here an hour. There's a lot of games. What we're just going to do is going to kind of go game by game. And then each give a core or two, and then we'll get out of here. And hopefully there's no crazy last second news, but there is being in our Discord. We will hopefully get it to you. It's actually saved our butts a couple times the last couple days. So let's start. What's the first game we got to say? LSU and Auburn. Actually, one of the better games. I think it's in Auburn. LSU is a 4. Yeah, in Auburn. Auburn is a favorite. They're 4.5 favorites. We got an over-under of 130, 143.5. You want to take one of these teams? What do you want? You take first pick.
Yeah, I'll start with LSU. Yeah, like you said, this is a very good game. Great way to get back into the swing of things. I'm really going to look at LSU. I actually think this. When you look at the tempo of these teams, you might think this game is probably going to have a lot of points. The tempo is going to be fast, don't get me wrong, but I do think that we might get a little bit of a lower scoring game than maybe what's projected. You have 2 really, pretty solid defenses, which is not like LSU because under Will Wade, they've usually just been kind of a run and gun and, score and don't play D. But this year they're number 2 in adjusted defensive efficiency on Bartorovic. And I think both teams kind of run through the middle, especially, I got Jabari Smith, excellent player for Auburn, Days and Eason for LSU. I think Eason is pretty questionable right now, so we'll see. But yeah, kind of going off that, I really like Days here at 7.4K. I think that's a really good price. And like I said, I think this game is going to kind of work through the middle. He's going to give you, he's very consistent. He's an excellent rebounder. He has a little bit of a tough matchup here. You got Kessler and Smith, but yeah, I'm excited to see, these guys duke it out inside. But yeah, I really like Days at the price. And like I said, I think this game kind of works inside. So saying that, I'm going to go with Days as my top pick here.
Yeah, you know what? And I actually totally agree with you. And I think that even though the tempo is a high projection, these teams are really good in defensive efficiency. So usually we'd be talking about this like the marquee game, you know what I mean? And we want players from the slate, and there really isn't. And I think if you're going to take anybody, I agree, it would be Darius Days at 7,400, especially if we find out that Terry Eason misses. The problem with Eason is he doesn't start. And we got that happened. The last game was, hopefully we think it would be a beat writer out there that would notice him not warming up. But when the starting lineups come out, we don't see Eason's name anyway. So we think that, he's just 6 man at the bench, which he's been doing. But if Eason plays, Eason has been a total animal, man. He's been, and we've been talking about him now for a couple of years. And just look at those 29% usage rate, 30% shot rate. So if he plays, great GPP play. Days, if Eason sits right, Days to me is a cash play then. Lock him in. He's going to roll over the slate, 20% shot rate, 22%, 27% shot rate, 22% usage rate. Great plays. I like Pinson as a GPP play. And then you got Eric Gaines. Gaines is always a decent, you can probably play Gaines in cash. I kind of think he made a shot at his low last game, but he's playing well. His price is now up a little bit, almost to 5K. So he's no longer that lock him in as a value play, but Gaines is probably the other closest play to a cash play on there. On the other side, once again, I think these guys probably GPP plays. I love Jabari Smith, like you said. He's playing great. This kid Smith's a stud. The problem is, if we know we're gonna get 35 minutes out of Smith, I would lock him in a cash. We just don't know if we're gonna get that. Kessler. Same thing. He's actually, I just had his numbers up. Bruce Pearl has actually really done a great job with Kessler, right? Molded him into kind of like a really good defensive player when he gets the ball in his hands, especially close to the rim. His scoring average is up, and he blocks like crazy, number 5 in the nation in blocks. So, but probably more GPP play, Katie Johnson GPP play, and that's probably it from this game, right? So Days possibly cash. Maybe Eric Gaines, if you want to get a little bit lower, and that's probably it, right? And Jabari Smith would definitely be catched if I knew he was going to play 35 minutes.
Yeah, no, Auburn, I agree. Auburn, they're actually, they're a difficult kind of DFS team to assess. Like you said, the usage can kind of be difficult to measure. But yeah, it is an interesting game to attack, and there's plenty of options.
And I didn't even mention at the beginning. You're one of our big wagering guys. Very successful in the wagering biz. So you're looking at the under on this game?
Yeah, I was actually.
I have 435.
Yeah, basically, as we're talking, I think this is definitely something too. Especially like I personally, I like to play college basketball first half. So I think you got two teams probably coming off a longer break. So I'm definitely going to probably play this first half under. I got to confirm the number, but yeah, that looks like a good play to me.
There you go. Come from one of our wagering betting guys. All right, so move on. Big slate. So the next game we got, once again, you guys ask all the questions you want, and in YouTube chat, I'll try to answer them. Craig's asking about, can you go 3 Qs? Yeah, Qs. I'm thinking you can go 3 or 4 Qs. So I'm an Orange Man guy. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, it's a big game with Syracuse, so a pace-up game against Cornell. Missouri, Kentucky is the next game in Kentucky. Kentucky 20.5 point favorites, 140 over and under. Kentucky's got an 80-25 implied. I think we probably do have a cash game for this play. What do you think? For this game, what do you think?
Yeah, this is an interesting. Missouri has been pretty bad this year, huh? They've had some good teams in the past, so it's a little surprising. But yeah, they're pretty low. I think I'm looking at 248th overall on a couple of the websites. So yeah, not a great team here, but they do have one player I think that everyone probably knows, Kobe Brown. He's 8.1K. He's really their best player. Obviously, usage is through the roof, and he's very good. Good in boards. He's just a very good player. So I think 8.1K. He's probably going to play as much as he can, barring 50-point blowout or anything. Which Kentucky is definitely going to win. They'll probably win by double digits, but it's on the road. Like I said, first game back for a lot of these teams. So can they stick it in? Stick in this game a little bit. And I think so. At 8.1K, he's a good cash play. And I almost think you could probably play him in GPP too, just because, like I said, this is a tough matchup. So you might get some decent ownership. It's tough to say, but he's really the only guy I'm looking at on Missouri. And I'm sure you probably think the same way.
No, well, yeah, I mean, Kobe Brown's a stud.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the shot rate guy, leads team usage. But, and this is, I've been going back and forth on this all day, is we got Trevon Brazil now. Brazil, 3-3. He's now played, 4 games. He was out earlier in the season with, I'm not even sure that it was even announced what the injury was. But now he's back, and the kid went off in his last game. He had Illinois. I mean, of course, Illinois is no pushover. He didn't back down to Illinois. I mean, this Illinois is a famous, old school team. He had 11 points, 5 rebounds, 6 blocks. So 6 blocks would actually tie for the 4th highest in single game in Missouri history. So you got a kid his 4th game ever is now tied for the 4th highest Missouri game history. And he played 24 minutes. I'm assuming that's what you're probably going to see today is 24 minutes at 3-3 going up against Oscar T, though. That's probably the question mark. But, man, at 3-3, it doesn't take too many blocks for Brazil or a couple points to make value, right, at 3-3. So he's kind of borderline to me. I think a couple other players in that range we probably should go with. But I do like Trevon Brazil definitely in GBP as a value play.
Yeah, that's a good point. Honestly, I overlooked that. So I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm going to have to slip him in a few now.
Yeah, he didn't play. I said he's only played the last 4 games. So the kid's going to be good, obviously, and 3-3. On Chucky side, Oscar T, of course. To me, I think he's a cash play. I think he's going to be popular at 9-4, though. I mean, he's coming off another SEC Player of the Week honor. I think he was a co-honor with John Fulkerson, I think. He had 28 rebounds, broke a Rupp-Arena record, 14 points of rush in Kentucky, 6th most in Kentucky history now. And, I mean, that's a microcosm of his season. I think there's enough value to play him tonight, but you see Oscar T as a cash play, you're looking at him more as a GPP play tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot of money, but yeah, like I said, I think Missouri's going to maybe be able to hang in here. And I think I misspoke earlier. Mm-hmm. Missouri's actually on the road here, but it really just, I think he's going to have a great game here. So I think you could probably play him in both. I mean, if you can find if you can find some pieces to pay down, which I think we'll be able to highlight a few here, but yeah, I think he's cash in GPP. He's got the ability to go for 40-50, which obviously you're going to need on both, especially on a big slate like this. So yeah, I wouldn't be afraid of paying up and getting him outside because this is, at the end of the day, Missouri's not a great team, and I think he'll be able to do what he wants here.
Here's another player, and I've been actually talking back and forth to people all day. I'm not. It's Chris Duffy. If you're watching, actually Chris Duffy brought this up. Is Kellen Grady at 4,700? He's been over 30 minutes now. Last 3 games, we all know Kellen Grady from the mid majors. The only thing that worries me about Grady is his usage is only 11.9%. Shot rate is 16% when he's on the court. But we know what Grady can do. Sneaky play. I'm not sure about cash because of that usage, but I see him there. Ty. Now all of a sudden I see Ty shot rate going down. But still 6,700 is not bad. We know what kind of ceiling he has, but these are probably all GBP plays, right? Most of these guys, great, immense, Top is probably not a bad value, but I think more GBP, right?
Yeah, I think I like Washington. He can. One thing I like to look for, kind of to separate these like guards in this range. I look for steals because I think they're 3 points on DraftKings, or it might be 2. I'm sorry, but anyways, Missouri is going to turn the ball over. They're 275th in turnover rate, so Kentucky should be able to get some steals here. I think Washington, he basically, if you look at his game log, when you go against a team that turns the ball over a lot, he has a lot of steals. When you go against a team that takes care of the ball, he doesn't really show up. So maybe you can find some value here, and that could, that gives him an extra, 3, 6, 9 points, whatever it is. So yeah, definitely something to look at. I mean, that's why I would say I think he's a GBP play. But yeah, at the end of the day, this isn't really my favorite game here. I mean, I think there's so many loaded ones on the slate. I don't know. I'm just going to stay away from anyone besides Tshubi here. I don't know if.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I think it's more, but it's one of them games where, hey, I mean, you want to run, especially if you're multi-entry and you're running one of those $4.20 entries. Run one, Kobe Brown, Javon Pickett, come back from Ty, Severe Wheeler didn't even mention with that 44% assist rate, but all GVP plays. But once again, Oscar T, cash, if you want to pay that much. But there's a couple other studs, though. We don't have to go to Oscar T. I think that could actually nuke the slate here. But definitely Oscar T's in play.
Yeah.
All right, next game we got, which I think may actually come across as a sneaky game that nobody's really talking about right now is Seton Hall Providence. In Providence, in Rhode Island, Seton Hall is a 1-point favorite. So Providence is a 1-point dog at home, 139 over under. Seton Hall is more of a pace up team. Providence probably more, middling. So I'll grab Seton Hall here first because I do have some, and it's happening more and more as the day goes on, is I'm looking at Bryce Aiken sitting there at 3.9. Yeah. We all remember, Aiken, another mid-major guy. Now, last couple of games, 21 minutes, 29 minutes. The guy's been hurt a lot last year. But if we know we can get 25 minutes out of Bryce Aiken in this game, I'm starting to like Aiken more and more, especially if we get 25 minutes plus. I think his skill level at 3.9 is probably better than anybody else down there in that price range at 3.9. Right? So if we know he's healthy, we know he's going to play, I like Aiken a lot. I like Jared Roden. I think Roden, remember, Seton Hall hasn't played in a while, so kind of like I forgot about a lot of these guys, but Roden is, kind of the straw that stirs the drink there. Kind of a little bit too high, A3, right? Here's another thing. What's your thinking on Alexis Yetna? I've watched him a lot down here in Tampa. Up here at Seton Hall now. What's your thinking on him at 6'4", big time rebounder? He's playing minutes. What do you think about Yetna?
Yeah, that's actually someone I was looking at here because I'm looking at Providence. They're an okay rebounding team, 144th in offensive rebounding, 84th in defensive rebounding. Seton Hall 18th in defensive rebounding rate. So Seton Hall probably wins the matchup on the glass here. This isn't a very interesting game. Spread basically says it's a coin flip. The Big East, man, the Big East is going to be really something this year. There's a lot of good teams there. In my opinion, probably the best conference of college basketball right now. But anyways,
I agree.
Yeah, I think really for him, he needs the rebounds. He can definitely get you 8, 10. I mean, I'm looking at his game log right now, 10, 12, 4, 11, 14, 10. And he's got a 15 down there early in the season. So yeah, he can really clean up on the glass. So I think he's a great play because once again, this is going to be one of those games. I think it's going to be pretty tough. There's going to be a lot of action inside. Like I said, this is going to be, I think, his first or second conference game for these teams. So it's going to be a rock fight. But there's going to be a lot of rebounds. And I think this is a great game for him. So yeah, that's a great point. 6.4K. Is he going to score 20 points? No, he's probably going to score 10, 8. But if he can get you 10 and 10, yeah, sign me up all day at that price. Because he's also good he's a decent passer too. I mean, he's not Magic Johnson, but he can get 2-3 assists. He's basically good for a block or two a game. So yeah, I mean, that's a really good price.
I agree. So I think Yetna may come across as a sneaky play to slate here. We've been talking about the last couple hours, a couple of guys, and going under the radar and going to be low owned, especially because his projections are not that high. So I like Yetna. Love Bryce Aiken, and more at 3.9. Poor Nate Watson. I mean, I think Nate Watson is a stud. I just think DK continues to overprice this guy. He's 7'8". Definitely not a cat. Coming into the season, I thought we'd be playing Nate Watson every damn night, but not. I mean, I guess he's just more of a middle and rates, 7'8" GVP, right?
Yeah, I mean, going back to last year, yeah, if you look at, I'm looking at his game log right now. I mean, he does have some performances that are just where he's way overpriced, like you said. I mean, but if you like Yetna. And because of the matchup here, I mean, I think it's a basically an even matchup. I think you got to like Watson too. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a game I think that probably works inside. I mean, look at the 3-point percentage. Seton Hall, 290th in the country, and Providence, 214th. So, I mean, neither of these teams are really going to light it up from outside. I think a lot of the scoring is going to come from inside. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough to pay up for that price right now because I think that's just a little expensive in a game that might be a little bit of a rock fight here. But
yeah, no,
he's definitely got the talent, the usage, all his numbers look good. So I'm not going to fault anyone for playing him. And I think I'll probably have him in a couple just because I think if this game does, it is. I mean, he's got the ability to go for 30 or 40. So it's hard to really ignore someone like that.
And once again, Seton Hall is not a pushover defense. They're a very underrated defense. So
no, very good defense.
Jared Bynum at 4.9, I think is a decent value play, especially if we can get 30 minutes out of Bynum. Kind of a weird spot he's in, but shot rate's not where we want it to be. He's back here, though. I think he can be. I wouldn't fault anybody for running Bynum out there, especially if we get 30 minutes. I'm at 4.9. So that's that game. I'm not going to beat on that game. Now we get to me, is the marquee game of the night, pretty much, DFS purposes. Plus also my team. We got the Orangemen going up against Cornell. Cornell hasn't beaten us in 100 years or whatever. But the weird thing is we have Cornell as probably, once again, now this is pretty cool though, because we're in the Dome, 165 over under, highest of the slate. Syracuse is looking at 90-25 implied highest, but I really think Cornell is going to keep this game close. Closer, I think, because we know Syracuse. Syracuse will play down to a lot of these teams, but there's going to be points scored. And Cornell is right now by far one of the worst defenses in the nation. But we're looking at number 6 in tempo. So what does that mean? That means Syracuse is going to be running and scoring. So first of all, the only guy I'm even looking at in Cornell, and it is a little bit interesting to me, is the only guy I would possibly play is the guard Jordan Jones. He's 4'3". He doesn't play a lot of minutes. He plays like 20 minutes, but when he's on the court, he's got crazy usage, 25.9% usage, 32.6% shot rate, playing 20 minutes a game. So especially if you're going to do some game stacks, definitely get Jordan Jones in there. He's also leading Cornell in scoring, only playing 20 minutes at 12.3. And he's shooting 5 threes a game. So Jordan Jones is my play from Cornell. I'll take my favorite Syracuse player, and you give me one. Because I think people are already asking. I think that you can probably play 3 to 4 Syracuse guys in your cash lineup. I hate doing this. It usually doesn't work for me. The last time, though, it did work. We played all the Syracuse Georgetown guys on that Saturday a few weeks ago. But to me, right now, I'm all over Buddy Boeheim. I think he's got the right price to 7-7. He's had a terrible start this season. But watched him the other night, and it was against Brown. But when I've watched Buddy enough over the years. When Buddy's on, he's on, and he was on the other night. They were in that full Syracuse bully ball mode, where they were scoring back, on back-to-back buckets numerous times. To me, I think Buddy's going to own a slate. I'm locking him in. Can Buddy get cold? Of course, he could lose a slate for you. But to me, this is a Buddy Boeheim game. I'm locking Boeheim in. To me, it's a question of who else, but you can't play them all. Gerard, Swider, Edwards, even the brother. That's the other thing. We got a bench game narrative. We got Jimmy Boeheim, played for Cornell. Buddy's older brother. Even a little revenge game narrative for GVPs. Don't be playing Jimmy much in cash, but I could see Jimmy going off against Cornell and knows the program. What's your thoughts?
I agree. I think this is definitely the game to target here. Obviously, like you said, you got Cornell 19th in tempo, 51st in 3-point percentage, defense 305th. So yeah, this is a team. This is a team and kind of the game you want to target if you're looking for points. I honestly, I'll just kind of maybe peel off the layers of my strategy for tonight. I basically have 4 main plays here from this game. I'm kind of looking at the value here. I'm looking at Gerard hit 6.1K. I mean, I'm looking at his game log and kind of the matchup. This just seems like the matchup where I think he has a big outing. basically kind of a similar game. I mean, similar game. Georgetown, he had 35.
And Buddy was shit.
Yeah. I also like Slider at 6K. It's kind of the same thing. When his tempo gets turned up, he seems to thrive. So I really like those two. Then I'm going to look at Cornell. You said Jones, 4.3K. Love that play. I also love Patel, 58% of the minutes. This is, if you remember Cornell in the tournament a few years ago, I think against Arkansas, they basically run like 8-9 deep usually. And
they do. They're running 10 deep this year.
Yeah, as I say, yeah. So they the coach isn't afraid to rotate. So yeah, you don't have anyone that's going to play, 35 minutes. You'll probably get 20, 25 minutes, but there's going to be so many possessions. That's why if I'm wearing my Grinnell College hat, that's where I went to school. Shout out to them. They play an interesting style of basketball where they basically they almost double the average possessions in a game. Anyways, so I'm looking at Patel 3.8K. So what I really like about him is I think this 2-3 zone, I think really that's really the only way Cornell is going to score points. I think they're just going to be chucking all night long. And
right.
Me, I wanted to get two guys that really aren't afraid. He's 6'3", so I don't really think you don't really have to worry about him getting his shots off. Kind of same thing here with Jones. He's 6'5", so I really wanted to get two shooters on side. Are they going to do some other things? Rebounds, assists? Yeah, they can both provide it. Especially Patel, actually, pretty good rebounder here at size. What I'm basically going to do here is a lot of my lineups, I'm just going to have those four, and then I'm going to kind of build out some chalkier or more expensive guys and maybe try to rotate there just because I really do like the matchup here. I know they'll probably be higher owned, but I think for me, what's important about Cornell is you're going to have to pick your two Cornell guys or two or three, whatever it is, because you could probably go, there's probably 6 or 7 guys I think you could pick that are going to, there's probably 2 guys on the team that'll get 30 and it's basically up to you to decide them. And it's going to be pretty tough to decide those, but those are basically my 2 picks for Cornell. I think both of those guys have a good game here.
What about, these guys more than me. What about Chris Mannon? Looking at 27% usage, 27% shot rate, 4% steal rate. What's his price is 4-1. Was he a big guy? Is he a guard or forward?
Yeah, so he's 6'5". It's a very interesting team because it's almost like positionless basketball, really. It's actually this is going to be if you really like kind of like a basketball kind of clash of styles. This is going to be a very good matchup, but right. They're really not going to run your traditional 1 through 5 or even I guess what nowadays is like more like a 1 through 3 or 1 through 4 and then just kind of a swing guide center. But yeah, I think he doesn't really provide much rebounding me, especially when I'm looking at the games against Penn State. He only had 4 rebounds. Virginia Tech, he had 1 rebound. So, those are probably the 2 closest teams you can compare to Syracuse that they've played. And he really struggled to do anything against those guys. So that's kind of why I went away from him. But, he's got 26% usage, at least what I'm looking at. And yeah, he's really good at steals. So he's definitely someone that I think you need to look at. I think you could probably play 5 guys from this game and you could have a winning lineup in a GPP. You'd really have to get the guys right, but we've definitely seen slates like that. So if you can if you have 3 guys from Cornell that are in the 4K range and they get you, 25 or 20, that sounds like a winning lineup to me. If you hit on your chalkier guys. So yeah,
interesting. Yeah, it looks like Patel is your guy. Jordan Jones is my guy, whatever. So we'll see what happens. GPP plays. People have asked, they're just asking in the chat, how much is too much for Syracuse? Cash. I honestly, at the end of the day, I do think Girard is probably a better point per dollar play than Buddy. He's, $1,600 the last, and Joey Girard has he's been playing really well. Really has. He's second on team to score right now. He's playing all the minutes he can. He's making over 50% of his 3-pointers. Watched him a lot in high school in New York. I think he's still the all-time New York scorer later in high school. The kid's a stud. A lot of, last couple of years, all the COVID stuff, he's finally starting to come to his own. So probably at the end of the day, it's probably Girard, Swider, Edwards, maybe. But I love Buddy. I'll probably end up corn Buddy. But if you play all 4 of them, probably the smart plays are probably Girard, Swider, Edwards. And then move on. if you want to play Buddy, I'd probably pull out Gerard and play Buddy with Swider and Edwards. Edwards, we know, up to back to 30 minutes, awesome rebound rate, get the block upside. I just Edwards should probably be in a cash lineup at that 5.5 price tag. So
yeah, all right, yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, next game. Illinois State, Wisconsin. I haven't even just paid much attention to this game yet. It's a Johnny Davis game. We got Wisconsin at home, 17-point favorite, 137 over under. Wisconsin 77 implied. I'm not looking at anybody in Illinois State. Johnny Davis, of course, in play. Is Johnny Davis even playing? No, he didn't play last game, right? With some COVID issues. So, you look at anybody in this game?
Yeah, so I can jump on this game. So I'm actually a big Wisconsin fan. It's a team I follow.
There you go.
Born in Madison, so I can give a little insight here. It looks like from when I'm reading, Davis is going to be game time decision. I even think if he plays, I don't know how much he's going to play. I think this is a game they should probably handle pretty comfortably. I mean, Illinois State, they're okay, but I'm actually going to look at one guy. In Big Ten play, Wisconsin is very outmatched inside. They gave up, I think, like 50, 55 DK points to EJ Little. I know Little's a stud, but they really just don't have anyone to guard inside. But you look at Illinois State, they are 335th in defensive rebounding rate. So they're that's basically bottom 1 percentile. 2-point defense is very bad as well. So this is going to be a game, I think, where Wisconsin might look inside. And I'm actually going to look at one guy here, 6.1K. I think he's going to fly under the radar. Great GVP play, Tyler Wall. He's gets a ton of minutes. He's not going to come off the floor very much. He's probably Wisconsin's best rebounder outside of Davis. Obviously, Davis does everything, but yeah, great rebounder. He also, sneaky stat here, one of the better block kind of percentage guys on the entire slate. So this is, like I said, this is a game. Illinois not too strong inside, offense or defense. I think this is a game. I think Wall has a big game here, especially if Davis is limited or out. Davidson will probably get some minutes. He can hit some shots, but he's not really a guy I look at when they play kind of the lower teams. He's actually someone like a good GVP play pivot when they're in Big Ten play. But yeah, definitely look at Wall, 6.1K. I'm telling you, I think he's going to have a big game inside. He's probably one of my favorite GVP plays on the slate here, and he's definitely going to be lower ownership just because a lot of people are probably going to throw this game out the window. And I really am too.
So, 2 questions for you then. First of all, what's your feeling on Chucky Hepburn, who's playing over 30 minutes? He's not getting crazy usage, Joe, but I think his price is down now where you can play him at 4K. And then second, if Johnny Davis doesn't play, Brad Davison, now last time was Chris Vogt, and I actually won money with Chris Vogt playing him at 3. Is any of these guys in play in a cash lineup in this type of game environment with Johnny Davis out?
Yes. I mean, if Davis is out, I do think you need to look at Hepburn just because the price is going to be there. Vogt, I think if you're looking at basically what I went off on is this inside matchup, I think Vogt is definitely in play here. Let's see. Yeah, I think I remember actually that game too. I mean, it was pretty recent.
Second half. He went crazy second half rebounds.
Yeah. So hold on. I'm pulling up. Give me a second. Yeah. I mean, I just, this game could, Wisconsin just has a nice history of when they get into these games, they're hideous. They might win this game 55-40. So definitely tread lightly, but yeah, Vogt is 3.8K. You can also, Hepburn 4K. So if you're looking for pieces to buy down, I just would really watch the Johnny Davis news. Everything I'm reading, so far, everything from what I've heard seems like a game time decision. And I think even if he does play, he's going to be limited. So yeah, but also if he is playing, there might be a lineup, a GBP lineup where I throw him in there just because, I mean, he, obviously he steps on the court here against Illinois State. He can go for 50. He's, Wisconsin, we haven't had anyone like him, since Londo Tucker. So yeah, this is one of these games you need to watch. You need to watch the news.
Monster usage. Love Johnny Davis. 8.8. I still think it's a reasonable price. All right. We'll be here to 7:00. We can talk all day. So next game, Nevada Kansas, which I think is another interesting game kind of for DFS. In Kansas 17.5 favorite at home. They have an A6 implied 154.5 over under. I'll just take Nevada because I think there's a couple decent plays here. First, Grant Sherfield. I think Grant Sherfield's a stud. I'm not going to play him in cash, probably not against Kansas, but he's a stud. I mean, he is. And Kansas not a great defensive team, so I guess you can play him in cash 85. But Grant Sherfield, you want to play him, great. I think Warren Washington's a great play. I wish he was a little bit cheaper, 5-1. He's going to play 25, 30 minutes, decent rates. But I'm also just if I want to get the guys like Oscar T from Kentucky, what about a guy like Will Baker at 3-7? He's playing 20, 24 minutes a game. When he's on the court, he's getting good usage. I just wrote him up in hours where I got him at. I mean, and that's why his minutes are baked into his price. His price is only 3-7, 21% yours, 22% shot rate, 20.5 combined rebounding rate at 3.9. I don't mind 3.7. I don't mind Will Baker if I think it's going to be popular in cash. So GVP play, Sherfield, Desmond Cambridge, Warren Washington, Will Baker, I think is a value play. Kentucky, I'll name one player and I'll give you the floor. Christian Brown is my man. 8-2, yes, prices cut up a little bit, but I think 8-2 is still too cheap. I know Agbaji is the leading scorer, one of the top leading scorers in NCAA, but I'm a Christian Brown guy. I'm going to probably play him in cash, maybe to my detriment. But I love the guy. He's the cheapest of that elite group of scorers where Johnny Davis, Brown, even Darion C. Brown, all those guys, he's the cheapest. And I just think he's a stud. And I'm probably going to play him at 8-2. What you thinking? And that him or rest of these guys, Remy Martin, whoever else?
Yeah, honestly, with Kansas, I really don't like looking outside of Braun, Ajabi, and then also McCormick. I honestly really don't like looking. I just, they can burn you. That's the problem. I mean, I really, if I'm playing Kansas, I like to pay up. I like you said, Braun, he's definitely, for me, probably one of my favorite plays on the slate. I mean, the guy is just a machine this year. Honestly, he's probably been one of the best, I think, DFS players all season. I mean, he's just, you look at his game log, it's just, 30, 40. He fills it up. He's a very good player. And I think, I actually think Nevada, I'm not as sold on Nevada maybe as some people. I'm looking at you look at their season, it's just, they really haven't done it. When they've stepped up even a little bit in class, I mean, to me, they really haven't done that much. They played San Francisco tight.
Good point.
I don't really like what they did. Santa Clara, they got blown out. South Dakota State blown out. They beat Pepperdine, Washington. Washington's pretty terrible to me. So am I sold on Nevada making this a game? Not really, but I think if you're going to, Kansas, I mean, I love Braun too. I think he's definitely going to be in my lineup. So yeah, like I said, Kansas, Remy Martin too. I do not want any part of him. He's way overpriced. He doesn't fit on this team. I think he's a good player, but he hasn't found his footing yet on this team. So just a no go for me.
No, he never will. I watched him. I watched him previously. He's a ball hog. He'll have great games. He gets hot. Even was it 2 Saturdays ago? He had a good game. The game ended up being a ball, and Braun had a great start. And then Remy got hot. But some news: Devin Cambridge is out. Auburn and COVID. So then who did I see? Somebody Alan Flanagan is getting a start for Auburn. So that's just a little bit of news that just popped up for college. Anything else here? Minnesota game has been canceled. Not on a slate, but that's it. Okay, so what's the next game we got here? Next game is Wake Forest, Louisville. Not crazy about this game either. I mean, for DFS purposes, playing in Louisville's 5-point favorite, 143 over under, 74 implied for Louisville, a favorite. If I'm playing anybody for this game, it's Londis Williams at 9K. He's like one of those elite guys up top. I think you probably should get one of them. I'm probably playing Braun, but you dig into Londis Williams, and man, I mean, what's his 5th year? He came to Wake Forest first this year. He's always been like a serviceable college player, but holy shit, this guy's become like 28%, 28-7 usage, 28% shot rate, which has actually gone down a bit. 18% defensive rebound, 31.4 assist rate. Stud written all over him. But when you can't play, you can only play one of them. It's probably going to be Oscar T. But, man, you want to be different. You want to pivot. If I'm pivoting off Oscar T, I'm probably going to go Londis Williams because he is to me, right now, he's the ACC Player of the Year by far.
Yeah, no,
and that's all I got for that game.
Yeah. I was going to say, honestly, outside of him, you look at this game, Louisville, they're one of those teams, too, you kind of just want no business with. They were so inconsistent. But, yeah, Williams, this guy's a machine. You look at the ACC, you have Williams, and then something we can jump on. You obviously have Dearborn from NC State, so you just got two guys that are just. They really just fill it up. It's crazy what these guys do, and they're really. I think they were kind of under the radar heading the season, especially Williams too. I don't think anyone saw this coming, but yeah, don't be. No. You got two teams that aren't afraid to push the tempo, so this is a sneaky game. But yeah, I'd really just look at Williams and cash here.
Yep. On the other side, Malik Williams, I think he's actually where he should be at price now, 8K. He probably should get double. Great play, GDP. Play him Noah Locke. We all know Noah Locke. Boomer bust. You could roll the slate. Also missed 6 shots. Matt Cross. Cross is back. Middle and race still back starting. With Jacob Rabia for White Forest is back off of COVID. So he's returning. But it's all about Londis Williams. Probably GDP is going to get Oscar T in there. Next game, so we can move along here. Tennessee, Alabama. That's another one you would think would be like normally a marquee game on a slate like this. We got and Bama. Bama's a 4.5-point favorite. 148.5 over under. But once again, I don't see any plays here. When it's going to only talking cash lineups. I'll take Tennessee. You can take Bama because I'm interested in. I do have some interest in John Fulkerson at 5'6". I think I'm not a Fulkerson guy. I've been burned so much by Fulkerson, but at 5'6", I think it's not a bad price. The problem is he had a huge game against Arizona. Watched that game because I had a lot of interest in that game. That's when Levis had like his career low. I got lucky and actually cashed that slate because that's the game Terry Easton didn't play. So I cashed that slate, but Tuba Levis was one of I think I poured him that night, didn't do shit. Fulkerson came out of nowhere. Another one's been his eighth year in college. He's like 30 years old. Great rebounder. He did take like okay. So Fulkerson also had like 12 free throws in that game. I do see him as a cash play. Probably more GVP play. I do like Josiah Jordan James. I think JJJ at 5'5", great play. Great peripherals. If you don't play Fulkerson, possibly play JJJ. But beside that, Chandler, when Chandler gets against good competition, he's been scaring me a little bit. So I'm not huge on Tennessee here. I hear we have a question. Where's the question? Okay, I do. Oh no! Oh Nelson, I'm sorry, Nelson. But you can ask on YouTube. I know Nelson. What's your question? Oh, let's finish Tennessee Bama first, and Nelson will get back to you. So, Riley, anybody from Bama as cash plays? Tennessee just possibly Fulkerson, probably more GDP. Do you see Bama as cash play tonight?
Yeah, Bama's one of those teams. They obviously, they obviously have that kind of ceiling to give you. There's a bunch of guys that can give you some points. It's really tough to kind of figure out or get a lock on who's going to show up and really take over the game. I think that's what makes it so good though, is because they can really spread it out. And if one guy's not on, they got 2 or 3 more, even 2 or 3 guys really pick up the slack. Is this a game where, who's controlling the tempo here? I think both. I think Tennessee, they do have, their tempo rank is 83rd, so not slow. But I think in a game like this, I know Barnes, he's going to want to slow down. He's going to want to play defense. So can Bama push the tempo, kind of try to control his game a little bit on the fast break? We'll see. I do like Ellis, I think. I think he's really starting to find his footing on this team. He kind of had a hot start and then he cooled off, but I think he's starting to get back in it. Look at his recent game log, 34, 40, 26. So, 7.4K. Like I said, a lot of these guys, they can make or break the slate for you, but I think he's going to be he's my favorite play on the slate for Alabama, at least.
Yep. My problem is I think all these Bama guards are overpriced right now because what's the word?
Shackelford sign off too.
Quinterly, Ailes. Okay. They I think they all cannibalize each other. So it's only Fulkerson, possibly cash play. So going back to Nelson, Riley has to go to a real job. So he's signing off. So I'll finish off the rest of the site with you guys. So Nelson just asked a question actually in our general chat. And don't feel bad because Nelson is old school like me. And if I wasn't actually playing DFS, I probably wouldn't have a YouTube account either. So you did ask this question on Kobe Dixon. Going back to the Cornell Syracuse game, it is an important game because huge high tempo game, and you can definitely GVP game stack the game. He's asking, do you like Dixon, Patel, or Jones better? Because we really didn't talk about Kobe Dixon. Now going back to Kobe Dixon, most of his Cornell guys, Dixon's got a 21.9 usage, 16.7 shot rate. If I'm playing, if I'm playing any of these guys, it's gonna be Jordan Jones. There's no way can I pass up a guy at what is Jordan Jones? Jordan Jones is 4.3. There's no way can I pass up a guy like Jordan Jones who's got a usage 26%, 32.6 shot rates on the floor. I'm gonna roll Jordan Jones. I'd probably go second Dixon and third Patel. I know Patel and Riley's actually Cornell guy, so maybe I'll go Patel and then Dixon. He knows more about Cornell than I do. Just so I did see some news just pop up. Tyrese Samuel is out for Seton Hall. That just came up. And you're welcome. Nelson on me. Okay, so I'm off track here. So next game, 3 games up. North Carolina State, Miami. So let's go. Another game that's probably not a huge DFS game. There are players here. North Carolina State. Miami's actually a 3-point favorite by Hurricanes at home. 143.5 over under, more middling than middle. It's kind of like the Wake Forest Louisville game, the Providence Seton Hall game, Kentucky, Missouri. There is a stud in this game, of course, and that is De'Aaron Seabron. De'Aaron Seabron's a stud. He's paying 9.3. He's having a huge season right now. 22% shot rate, 23% rebound rate, 33% assist rate. This over his last, three games. Great play, but you can't play all these guys. To me, I still think Oscar T is your cash play. You play more than one lineup, play a lineup without Oscar. Seabron in one, another one. Put Londis Williams from Wake Forest, another. The rest of these guys are all GPP plays. Anybody else from NC State I like? Probably Jericho Helms, Helms is playing every minute now. So problem is other guys I like, but Terquavian Smith is down up to 7K though. But man, the freshman is playing well. GVP. Cam Hayes, highly cheap as a 5.6. GVP. On the other side, anybody from Miami? I'm not messing with Kieran McGusty. I've been playing him for years. His peripherals aren't there. Anybody? Maybe Charlie Moore. But how many times have we been burned by Charlie Moore over the years at DePaul and everywhere else? 6'4". But look at his last 3, 19% shot rate, 16% rebound rate, 30% assist rate. If I'm playing anybody tonight, I'm playing Charlie Moore at 6'4". He's probably one of my sneaky plays tonight. He's only 6'4" though. So I probably like this game more than I said when I started my sentence here. But I do like Charlie Moore at 6'4". So not for cash, probably not. But he's shooting. And we all know if Charlie Moore gets hot, we know Charlie Moore can carry a lineup. He can definitely carry Miami. If I'm playing anybody from Miami, it's not Cameron McGusty. It's not Isaiah Wong, who's been also there for probably 8 or 9 years. It's probably Charlie Moore right now, who's carrying a 21.4 usage, 22.6 shot rate, 20.5 assist rate, and he's playing more. He's playing more and more, getting used to the program. I like Charlie Moore. But if anybody, De'Aaron Seabron is the play of this game. And actually, that's it. These last 2 games are canceled. Arkansas, Mississippi State earlier. Washington and Washington State. Actually, that was all our values today. That game is now shut down. So that's it for the game by game. I'm almost took us an hour. So do you guys have any questions before I just give you my top plays at cash? Good. Craig Bratton is right there waiting for my top 3 cash plays. Okay, so let's look at guard first. My cap cash. Give me my top 4. I'll give you a core, and I'll get out of here and try to build a lineup. So, guard. Sorry. My top guard on a slate, man. I don't want to think with I want to think of my head, not my heart here. So to me, it's Christian Braun is your top guard play. That's at 8-2. He's just too cheap. I love Buddy Boeheim. He's probably gonna be in my cash lineup, but I may be going more of my heart than my head. But probably Joey Girard, $1,600 cheaper is probably the smarter play. So probably it'd be Braun, Joey Girard, and then a value end. There's not great value at guard. I said I don't mind Jordan Jones Cornell. I don't mind Trevon Brazil, the Missouri guy who's also guard forward who broke all the records during and block shots. So right now it is probably my top guards are going to be Christian Braun and Christian Buddy and Joey Girard. Now forward. Oscar T, lock him in. He's a core play. Who else beside Oscar T? Terry Eason, you can't take a chance. GVP plays, he may not play. I do like Darius Days at 7-4. Maybe more of a GVP play. So I guess for locks, Jesse Edwards at 5-5. Swider at 6K. So now we're going to rock probably 3 or 4 Syracuse players. Probably Edwards, Swider, Girard. If you want to go 4, then go Buddy Boeheim. All right, so that makes sense. So my top three cash plays of this slate are Oscar T, Jesse Edwards. Oh, Oscar T, Jesse Edwards. Man, then you got to make a decision. Do you want to play 2 or 3 of Buddy, Girard, and Swider? I hate playing all the Syracuse guys. They may end up playing Buddy and Swider, but Girard's probably a smart play. Does that make sense, you guys? That makes sense, Craig Breton? Any other questions on this? So I pretty much just went over my top guards and forest plays. So my core is right now, but I wrote up right now my core is going to be let me see, it's gonna be Oscar and then 3 of Buddy, Girard, Swider, Edwards. Yeah. You can't play. I'm not going to play 4 Syracuse guys. I'm going to play 3. You got to make a decision here. I like Buddy. Girard's having a smart play. And then Swider, Edwards, and Oscar T. It's probably going to be popular. It's going to be chalky, but that's the way it is. Okay, Big E. Eric's asking, best 7,800 utility, not named Boeheim for DK Cash. Best 7,800 utility, not named Boeheim. I got Buddy. Oh, probably under 78. I would say Walker Kessler, but he's 7'9". Probably. Wow. I would probably say Darius Days 1. Devin Cambridge from Nevada 2, and then Terry Eason 3, because we don't know if Eason's going to play. If we know Eason's going to play for sure, I would say Eason, Days, and then Devin Cambridge. All right, is that it? Anybody any questions? It was an hour. It was actually a good show. We got through everything. It's gonna be chalker. We think you want to be different though somewhere. Maybe instead of Buddy, go somewhere else. Or instead of Kansas, Christian Braun, go somewhere else. Maybe go somewhere else with a value play. But let's go different somewhere and let's win some money tonight. All right, it's been a good week so far. Be on the lookout. Be in our Discord premium college room. We're gonna be all the update, any cancellations and all that. And I think it's it. There's no questions. If not, peace, deuces, out of here. Thank you, guys. Good luck. We'll be back on the next big slate. Bye.